bless the one who blesses. Come all of you, come all of us, and bless the one who blesses. Blessed is the blessed one, blessed is the giver of blessings, blessed in this moment now and every now to come. Blessed is the blessed one, blessed is the giver of blessing, blessed in this moment now and every now to come. Come all of you, come all of us, and bless the one who blesses. Come all of you, come all of us, and bless the one who blesses. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Come all of you, come all of us, and bless the one who blesses. Come all of you, come all of us, and bless the one who blesses. Do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do,
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai לעולם ועד, לעולם ועד. יאללה לילה לילה, 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 יאללה לילה לילה.
הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. Shalom aleichem, salam aleikum. Shalom aleichem, salam aleikum. Shalom aleichem, salam aleikum. Shalom aleichem, salam aleikum. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד.
Shabbat Shalom. We invite you to find your seats.
What's inside, see what's inside. Lay down your walls, lay down your walls, lay down your fears, lay down your fears. Lean into love, lean to love. Welcome here. You are welcome here. Maker of day, maker of day, maker of night, maker of night. Feed me with song, feed me with song. Let me be your light, let me be your light. Hine matov, hine matov, umanai. Shevet kulam, shevet kulam, gam yachad, gam yachad. Hine matov, hine matov. Shevet kulam, shevet kulam, gam yachad, gam yachad.
Shabbat Shalom and happy Pride.
Shabbat shalom.
Hine matov, what a blessing it is to be together. As we have taken to saying anytime we gather here at Temple Israel, whether you're here for the first time or the 100th time, however you identify, wherever you come from, you have always belonged right here with us. In celebration of Pride tonight, we will lift up the voices of LGBTQ plus thought leaders and composers, and we are so grateful to share this moment with all of you. Welcome to everyone here in the room. Welcome to everyone who's joining on the live stream. In fact, there's a camera right back there if we can turn and wave and just greet everyone who's watching from home. This is one silver lining of actually not being on the beach, is that we get to live stream in the moment rather than sharing it after the fact, because we are here together in our sanctuary. I'm Cantor Julia Cadrain, so grateful to be joined by my wonderful colleagues, Rabbi Ilana Nematoff-Bressler, Rabbi Zach Pleasant, and so happy to introduce you to our wonderful new assistant cantor, Becky Mann. That was Becky's beautiful composition that we sang to open the service. We'll be hearing many more of her compositions over the coming months. We are so happy to be joined by Mike Lantowski, whose birthday it is today. Happy birthday, Mike. By Chris and Sean and Stephanie and Brian and Noah. How good it is. We want to take a moment to invite us to greet those around us. See if you can look around the room, find someone that you don't know, and say Shabbat Shalom, and we'll come back together in just a moment. We'll come back together now. Friends, I love that moment when we overflow the space and have to make room for more. I want to also recognize that Kate is here with us, our wonderful new Director of Experiential Education. Welcome, Kate. We want to invite our upcoming B'nai Mitzvah to join us for the candle lighting to bring more light into our space. Dylan and Charlie, please come on up.
It's on page 120.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
How good it is to gather in a rainbow of affections and sexualities in the house of God who loves each of us exactly as we are created, without limit and forever. How sweet it is to gather in a spectrum of gender identities in the house of God who transcends human limits and categories. How pleasant it is to gather Jews and people of all faiths and no faith in the house of God who hears the prayers of all. How fine it is to gather people with firm beliefs together with people with questioning in our hearts in the house of God who values deeds of caring and justice far above the recitation of creeds. Kabbalat Shabbat begins on page 130. L'chuner Anana.
Let us sing unto God a new song. Let us sing unto God Lechu neranena. Lechu neranena l'Adonai. Nariha letzur yishenu. Nekadma fanav betodah. Bismirot nariha lo. Bismirot nariha lo. Sing unto God. Let us sing unto God. Sing unto God a new song. Let us sing unto God. Sing unto God a new song. Yay, la, la, Page 648.
131 in these books.
Oh, thank you. Shiru Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru Adonai shir chadash. Shiru Adonai. Shiru Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru Adonai shir chadash. Sing unto God. Sing unto God on the earth a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God and we'll all sing along. All the earth a new song unto God. Shiru, shiru, l'Adonai. Shiru, shiru, I will sing unto God a new song.
As we turn to the words of Lecha Dodi on pages 138 and 139, we recall this scene in Sfat in Israel where the mystics would run out with reckless abandon to greet Shabbat, to greet the Sabbath bride as they referred to it. But on a night like tonight, I can't help thinking about running out and greeting those that we love, whoever we love, however we love, with reckless abandon. So with this joy and excitement and energy that we already feel so palpably in this room, we'll sing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. And on the 9th verse, we will rise and face this beautiful rainbow as we welcome love, those whom we love, and all of the ways that we feel love in our lives into our Shabbat.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala ושמו אחד לשם ותפארת ולתחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה.
לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה. מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה.
לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי. אורי, אורי, שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך תיגע. לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום עטרת פניו, גם בשמחה וצהלה. תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה.
We remain standing as we are able and turn to page 146. It comes after 147. And we join together in Baruch.
Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. Baruch hu et Adonai Please be seated as we invite forward the Schmelkin-Wilson family.
Our people came out of Egypt a mixed multitude, the spray of dividing waters, sparkling diamonds all around them.
We stood together at Sinai, all of us, future, present, past, amid the rumble of thunder and the crack of bright lightning, to enter into the covenant with the one who loves us, in whose shining image we are all created over and over again.
And we gather here this day in our community of our people, a mixed multitude, and we sing out.
Hear, O Israel, we stand together, all of us, descendants of the single first human created on the sixth day, and of our myriad parents down through the generations, too numerous to name. We stand together, link arms, and pray.
Blessed are you, God of the universe, who sanctifies us with the commandment to love ourselves and one another in our varied ways, and blesses us with a diamond-bright radiance that still ripples out from your first spoken words of creation. We turn together to page 152.
Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meyodecha ve'hayu ha'devarim ha'eh asher Anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta b'ham v'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha v'derech u'shokbecha u'kumecha u'kshartam lehot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם בארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. Ani Adonai Elohechem.
Mi Chamocha, our song of freedom, is on page 158. We sing and pray together.
Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh nora tehilot sefer nora tehilot sefer la 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 we'd like to invite up the Siegerman-Schechter family.
Most of the time, we walk around inside out, and we think no one sees who we are at our essence. Maybe because we may not want to see when in fact most humans are walking around in plastic bags. Their pain and their joy, their apprehension and their fervor, it all shows. In truth, there is love all around us, though we live in a world in which there is a good bit of dissonance and pain, but we have a haven of love.
We create a world of love so that sometimes, for the first time, people understand what it is to love and feel a part of something, love just for their presence. By the iconic Debbie Friedman.
We turn together to page 161. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivenu, Beshalom. Lecha Amiteinu, and Shumreinu Lechayim. Lefros Aleinu, Sukkot Shlomecha. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Hashem L'Shalom. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storm. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
The Amidah, our standing prayer, is about all of us standing together. All of us. Sharing the words that we speak, the lives that we live, and those whom we love. We rise as we are able on page 164.
Adonai, Svatay Tiftach, Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Adonai, open up our lips that our mouths may declare your praise. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu v'Imoteinu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor Ha'Norah, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה הכל, אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומדם מלך, מלך מביט ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברך אתה אדוני, מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
You may be seated. On a night and in this space filled with so much love, we are aware that there are those whom we love who are in need of healing, healing of mind, of body, of spirit. So as we turn to Misher Berach on page 371, if you have a name of someone who you are thinking of, who you would like to bring into this space so we can all hold that name and send our love and support and healing to them, please do so at this time. As a Temple Israel community, we're thinking of Gerald Backman, Mary Wheeler Braun, John Burns, Alex Carr, Al Delardi, Frida Easton, Steve Elliott, Beth Field, Sue Flom, Fred Friedman, Louise Friedman, Maurice Friedman, Jackie Fuchs, Roy Fuchs, Laney Gans, Sandra Halperin, Jeff Helfand, Richard Lieberfarb, Sheldon Manspieser, Robbie Regano, Marcia Silber, Stan Stern, Jill Stewart, Nancy Vega, Karen Weiner, Moshe Yaakov Ben Yocheved. For those names we've said out loud and for those names we hold in our hearts, this prayer is for them all.
May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, bless those in need of healing with refuah shnehema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say,
pause for a few moments of silent reflection.
This is a song that is about people who feel isolated, having to keep going anyway, and it seemed like the right song for us to sing.
Somebody said you got a new friend, but does she love you better than I can? There's a big black sky over my town. I know where you're at, I bet she's around. Yeah, I know it's stupid, but I just gotta see it for myself. I'm in the corner, watching you kiss her. Oh, and I'm right over here. Why can't you see me? Oh, I'm giving it my all. I'm not the guy you're taking home. I keep dancing on my own. Just wanna dance all night. I'm all messed up, I'm so out of line. Stilettos and broken bottles, spinning around in circles. I'm in the corner, watching you kiss her. Oh, I'm right over here. Why can't you see me? Oh, I'm giving it my all. I'm not the guy you're taking home. Ooh, I keep dancing on my own. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So far away, but still so near. The lights come up, the music dies, but you don't see me standing here. I just came to say goodbye. I'm in the corner, watching you kiss her. Oh, I'm right over here. Why can't you see me? Oh, I'm giving it my all. I'm not the
get taken home. I keep dancing on my own. 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 I keep dancing on my own.
Our wonderful congregants, Billy Mann and Lulu Mann, thank you so much. We have the best people. And speaking of, we'd love to invite our brides and grooms to be forward. Siblings, Romy and Jared, and your fiancés, David and Erica, please join us on the bima now. So Romy and David and Jared and Erica, in a few weeks, about a month apart from one another, you will each stand under your respective chuppahs for your wedding ceremonies. And we know that in that moment, you'll be surrounded by only your closest family and friends. So this is our community's opportunity to offer you our love and our blessings. We know that two of you spent some of your childhood here in this congregation, Romy and Jared, and we just take such pride in watching you, all four of you, reach this moment. All of us here in the sanctuary, and we're especially thinking of your grandparents who are here, Romy and Jared, Jaime and Marge, to your families and loved ones who are here in the sanctuary, to everyone here in the sanctuary, everyone joining on the live stream, everyone here who's present in spirit only. Together as one community, we are so grateful to offer you our tradition's most ancient blessing. It comes from the book of Numbers, the priestly blessing. Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha Ken yehi ratzon, may it be so. Ken yehi ratzon.
May God bless you and keep you always.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha vichunecha. Ken yehi ratzon. Ken yehi ratzon.
May God shine God's face through all four of you and always be gracious to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'asem lecha shalom, shalom, shalom.
God offer you all of God's blessings, those of togetherness, of joy, of family, of love, but most of all, that of shalom, of peace.
Can you hear our song?
Thank you so much.
כי כל העדה כולם קדושים בתוכם Adonai. For all the community are holy, all of them, and the eternal is in their midst. These are words from this week's Torah portion, uttered by a character named Korach and his group of followers who the Torah describes as people of repute. We follow an ancient Torah reading cycle laid out by our tradition centuries before the concept of Pride Shabbat existed. Still, I can't help but wonder if our ancestors are speaking to us through the generations with a message for this particular moment. All of the community are holy, all of them. The Torah repeats the notion that we are holy twice in one sentence, as if to assure us there are no exceptions. Every single one of us is holy. There was a time when I thought for sure that I was the exception. 15 years and many lifetimes ago, I was a second-year cantorial student at HUC, the graduate seminary that trains Reform rabbis and cantors. There, I met Alana, who had been assigned as my guitar teacher. Immediately, I felt drawn to her, compelled by her presence. We bonded over a shared sense of humor, our love of music, and the fact that we were each planning weddings. We were both engaged to men and had only ever been in straight relationships. We had a profound connection, but we had no understanding or context for anything romantic that could possibly exist between us. Over the years that followed, our friendship grew and deepened as we supported each other through major life changes. Weddings, the beginning of a cantorial career for me, and a transition into parenthood for her. Through all the tumult, we spent hours together walking through Brooklyn's Prospect Park, talking, listening, and feeling understood in a way that was new for both of us. Almost without us noticing, our feelings for one another shifted and evolved until finally we stumbled on a terrible and undeniable truth. We were in love. This realization brought an overwhelming mix of emotions. On the one hand, I was in love. If you've ever been in love, you know how it can burst your heart open and rearrange your cells. I started seeing colors more brightly. I was filled with an expansive, almost invincible type of joy. I couldn't stop smiling. And yet, the exhilaration was mixed with a searing fear and a deep ache. Ours felt like an impossible love. I couldn't see a way forward. Never in a million years did I imagine myself as a divorced person, and I certainly never considered that I could be a queer person either. I couldn't reconcile all these seemingly disparate parts of myself. I was a full-time cantor at a prominent congregation in Manhattan, but how could I be a spiritual leader now? What did I know about marriage, about love, about anything? I had been so sure of where my life was headed, but what I had thought was solid ground had crumbled beneath my feet. I was certain that I could never again be whole if I accepted these other identities. And I feared I would be fired from my job if I came out. I dreamed that I was drowning. I cried every night. One morning, I woke up crying, got dressed crying, and cried on the subway all the way to a couples therapy session with my husband. I cried because I knew my marriage couldn't work anymore. Now that I knew what love could be, I understood that kind of love wasn't possible in my marriage. I was heartbroken. But once I grasped that truth with painful clarity, I had no choice but to speak it and live it. I was terrified. My life had exploded, and now it was time to begin the slow and agonizing process of putting the pieces back together. I told my family, who were sad and scared for me, but unconditionally supported my choice. I told my friends. It was especially hard with the ones who were also friends with my husband. One by one, I came out to all my colleagues at work. To my shock, I did not get fired. My community stood by me and even celebrated me. Many congregants told me without knowing my story that I seemed different, happy. I didn't realize I had seemed sad before. They reported that my singing voice sounded deeper and fuller. I didn't realize it hadn't always sounded that way. It was the proverbial best of times and worst of times. Somehow, with great effort, courage, and patience, we moved through to the other side and brought our families and communities along with us. In 2017, we got married. Today, we have 2 beautiful children together. We are an LGBTQ family, and yes, I am so proud of us. I marvel at how I never could have imagined this life for myself, and I'm glad that I couldn't, because it is better than anything I could have imagined. All the community are holy, all of them, and God is in their midst. Now I understand the truth of these ancient words. Changing our minds, uncovering new truths, living with uncertainty and vulnerability, these experiences do not preclude us from holiness. In fact, it is these very experiences that strengthen us and bind us to one another. While our ancestors didn't know about Pride Shabbat, they understood something about unconditional inclusivity. Centuries later, we embrace their message. All of us here in this room, all of us watching on the live stream, to a person without exception, are holy. We are holy in our brokenness, in our self-doubt, in our uniqueness, and in our truth. Whether we are part of the queer community or allies who believe in the worth and dignity of every person, we form a beautiful and diverse whole greater than the sum of our parts. We are a people who, like our ancestors before us, can move through impossible odds and stand together on the other side, marveling at the miracle. We are all holy, all of us, and God is in our midst. Shabbat Shalom and happy Pride. Yitkara veyitkara
When death comes like the hungry bear in autumn, when death comes and takes all the brightest coins from his purse, I want to step through the door full of curiosity, wondering what's it going to be like, that cottage of darkness. When it's over, I want to say all my life I was married to amazement. When it's over, I don't want to wonder if I've made of my life something particular and real. I don't want to end up simply having visited this world. Each of us are visitors in this world, and we hope that we make an impact. If you were observing Shiva or Shloshim, the 7 or 30 days after a loss, and you're remembering someone who impacted you or the world, we invite you to share their name aloud at this time. As a Temple Israel community, we are observing Shiva and Shloshim following the passing of Dr. Michael Notice, beloved husband of Cookie, father of Mark and Alice, Beth and Brian, Jenny and Greg, and Debbie and Mark, loving grandfather and great-grandfather. Harriet Koppelman Pancheski, wife of Ed, mother of Nathaniel and Chris, Justine and Scott, grandmother of Owen, Wes, and Jay, and sister of Eileen and Fred. Henry R. Mandel, brother of Linda and Stephen, father of Matthew and Tia, grandfather of Bella and Hannah. Harry von Gutman, father of Lisa Dasselier, Vicky, Jason, and Lauren, Zichrona Livracha. Mark Rubenstein, husband of Jane. Linda Lerman, wife of Rabbi Jeffrey Silberman, mother of Dina and Avi. Gabby Buckman, daughter of Cheryl and David, sister of Jackie, niece of Amy and Art Buckman, cousin of Josh, Haley, and Jared. If you're observing a Yurtzeit, the memory of a loss, and would like to share a name out loud, we invite you to do so at this time. We are also observing the Yurtzeit of the following members of our Temple Israel family: Nathan Agar, Alfred Baranoff, Herman Pitt Block, Lester Breidenbach Jr., Ann Korenman, Marilyn Feldman, Sandra Fletcher, Ada Friedman, Chester Friedman, Morris Gastwort, Judith Gold Levine, Jeanette Gottfried, Simon Grishman, Ruth Jean Block Harris, Milton Hirschfeld, Roma Isaacson, Charles Kolstad Jr., Joseph Kushner, Rima Hort Mann, Lee Middleman, Leopold Muller, Edith Namias, Dennis Neswald, Ruth Olafson, Sylvia Phillips, Gertrude Ryback, Marcia Schechter, Debbie Shapiro, Edward Sheldon, Samuel W. Siegel, Sidney Stern, Florence Sternshine, Robert Spigalis, Barbara Swesky, Jean Waldman, David Wilkes, Milton Young, Thelma Zellen. If you're joining us via the live stream and have a name to share, we invite you to do so by typing the name into the comments or saying it out loud where we can hear it in our hearts. We invite those in the period of Shiva or Shloshim, the 7 or 30 days of mourning, to rise if you are able. Those who are observing a Yurtzeit, we invite you to rise in body or in spirit. We turn to page 598 and join as a sacred community in remembering these souls. Please rise if you are able. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shemei rabbah, ve'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayachon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol Beit Yisrael, v'agala v'zman kari v'imru, Amen. Yehi Shemei Rabba Mevarach Leolam Ome Omaya. Yitbarach Vitba'ar Vitramam Vitnaseh. Yithadar Vitalev Vitalal Shemei Dekudashav Richu. Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'Shirata. Tushbechata V'Nechamata. Da'amiram Be'alma V'imru. Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya. V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, Amen. Osei shalom v'imromav, hu ya'asei shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved, as together we say, Amen.
Amen.
From memory, we turn to celebration and sanctification. We invite up Charlie and Dylan up to lead us in Kiddush. You can find it on page 100. Come up. You can find it on page, he's there, he's coming. You can find it on page 123. It's like the second page in the book.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzah b'anu v'shabbat kodsho ve'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit ki hu yom tehillah lemikra'ei kodesh zecher l'tziat mitzrayim ki banu b'charta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim ve'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat l'chaim.
Let's come do the
We bless the challah together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz v'te'avon.
We'll end with the words we began with, Hine Matov, a blessing to be together, how good it is to be together this Shabbat. Hine Matov.
Hine matov umanayim shevet kulam shevet kulam kal yachad Hine matov
שבת כולם עם יחד.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.